Hello, Dave here. Welcome to MySQL, a little intro to group by and how I use it. And you could use it in a simple or complex way. But here's one introduction to it. I am in PHP MyAdmin on my local host. I'm using XAMPP. I find this an easy way to get in there. Another way to get in would be to use MySQL Workbench. However you get to your client side of MySQL is up to you. And again, the concept here is generic SQL, whether using DB2, SQL Server, or whatever, although MySQL is free. So I'm going to start out by picking a database, and I just picked a database here. It's a WordPress test database that I have on my local host, and it just has some test data out here for demonstration purposes. So if we look at posts here, the post table, notice that I have 96 rows out there. So let me go ahead and just bring that up for a second. And it brings up, the first 30 rows here because it does the limit 30. And you see a whole bunch of data out there. But we have this wonderful handy dandy SQL feature here. So step one, let's go ahead, and I always like to start by looking at the count anyway. We saw that there was 96, but let's have SQL show it to us. So I do a quick little select count star from WP posts. Click the go button over here, and it shows me, and I'll go ahead and put that up. It shows the statement that was executed and the 96 there. Okay, that's great. Now let's take a look at some of the key data items. And since I am looking at the specific table, right, if you look at the breadcrumbs, I'm on my local host. I'm in the site move, that's my database name. And I'm in the WP post table. It brings up the available columns within that table. And I'm using, this is real database here. This is a WordPress database used in over 60 million places. So trying to do something realistic, even though the actual data in here is test data, doesn't matter. It's still the same database structure as any other WordPress database of a similar version. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the key data points. And I'm going to just do a select, and I'm going to select the ID, generally grab the ID as just a matter of course. Let's look at the post title, and we'll look at post status, and we'll look at the post type, and that's from WP posts. Right, so here's just some key variables, and I could have grabbed anything out of here. The actual post itself is in post content. Like I said, here's all those other variables. But right now I'm just taking a look at the title, the ID, the title, the status, and the type. And again, I'm going to do some group by here. So that's there's a method to my madness here. I clicked go, and we look down here. Here's 30 of those guys, and we see that we have, here's the post status and post type. I have some that are published posts, some are published pages. There's auto drafts, one that says future, some that say inherit, some are attachments, right? So a whole bunch of different stuff going on between status and type. And here's where group by comes into the picture. So let's start with, right, query, right? The Q in SQL is asking questions about our tables. So my first query is, how many different post types do I have out there? And what are they? So I'm going to write my select statement to be select count, because I want to know how many. And I'm going to just call that posts. And there's an implied as here, but it's just not needed, so I'm leaving it out. And I'm just basically giving it a name to this count. So I'm selecting count posts, and I will get the post type. So now I have two in my result table. I have two columns. I have one that is a calculated column and one that is a standard table column, right? So what table is that going to be from? It's going to be from WP posts. And now here's the group by. So once you do this calculation, any item out here that is not calculated has to be in the group by. And this could be sum, average, any other type of scalar function that is available. So I need to say group by post type. And I'm also going to do an order by. And I'm going to do posts. I can use this name that I gave it up here. I'm going to order it by posts in descending order so that I can see whichever post type has the most on top. So now, right, so here's our statement. Here's my result table, right, because every SQL select, you're saying, give me a result table. I'm saying, give me a result table. I want all the rows because there's no where clause in here, and I want two columns. So let's click go. Here's the statement that was executed, and here's my result table with my two columns. And you'll notice that I have 31 posts, 24 revisions, 16 attachments, right? So here's my distribution of post types within posts. All right, that's all well and good. So there's group by, and that's the group by at its most basic function. So let's take a look at it in terms of status now. So I'm going to just change post type to status. And if I click go, you see that I have some are published, some are inherent, some are auto drafts. Anyway, so there's the different type of statuses for these various posts. Well, now let's just make it just a hair more complex. And we're just going to go ahead and look at the posts that are actually posts, right? Because not a page, not anything else. So let's just add another column up here. Or I'm going to do post type first and post status second from WP posts. But now I want to say where post type is equal to post. And I need to add on to the group by here to post status. I need to add post type. Remember, because any column up here that is not a calculated column needs to be on the group by line. And now I can go ahead, click go, and you'll see down here that all of the post types are equal to post, right? That's what I asked for here, the where post there. And here's the various different statuses that I have out there. And here's the count. And the count order, right, has the most up at the top. So I can see where the most are. If I was looking for duplicates, this is a common method to look for duplicates out there. If I was looking at duplicates, I would look for anything, right, that didn't have a 1 out there. One other thing here, the beauty of MySQL is that it's does a case insensitive. If I do the uppercase post here and do a go, notice that I still get the same results down below. But if you're working in a case sensitive SQL product, you could always do the lower function or upper, either way. on that post, guys. So just an extra little doodad on here. Couldn't resist bringing that up. For example, in DB2, it's case sensitive, so you always have to use this upper lower. Found out that it doesn't matter in MySQL, but anyway, there's our same results. So there is using the group by, and I call it doing a distribution of values out in my result table. So once again, the group by, each column that you request for your result table needs to be specified on the group by line if it is not a calculated column. And that is group by. This is Dave at davecoast.com. Please let me know if you have any comments, questions, requests, or whatever it might be. Can either contact me at dave@davecoast.com or leave a comment at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching.